with us in St. Louis. Hi, Danny. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
Hi. So I was calling because my husband and I are looking for some advice regarding transitioning our mindset as we enter baby steps 4 through 6.
Okay.
So for a little background, so we got married in August and we became debt-free in December.
Way to go.
Thank you. Since then, we've finished baby step 3 and we've started our 15% to our retirement plan. But we're struggling with balancing short-term goals like saving for larger purchases versus just living more freely and starting to enjoy things more now that we're debt-free.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You do have your 15% going into retirement.
Correct.
And you are committed to finding some money to throw at the house and get it paid off in baby step 6, right?
Yeah, we have a teeny tiny mortgage left, so
Okay.
and that's not a huge concern at this point.
Okay. Well, I still want to finish it off. So that's still part
Of course,
of still baby step
absolutely.
6. But so your issue is just enjoying some fun money versus purchasing a car in 2 years.
Yeah, so I'm 27 and I've been driving the same car since I turned 16.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I'm a little tired of it.
You need a car. You need a car. Yeah.
I need a car.
What's your household income?
We make about $175.
No, you make a lot of money then. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, we do well.
So when you lay out the budget and you're having this discussion with your new husband, is there too much money going on fun or not enough money going on fun? Because you ought to be able to buy a car out of 175 and still have a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it's more just that we're balancing them both. I mean, we're doing pretty good saving, but I think we thought it would happen faster because of how much money we were able to put towards our debt.
Mm-hmm.
But now since we've started going on weekend trips, I mean, we're not being reckless by any means. We're still working our budget and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's just then we'll book that flight and then we'll be like, man, that money could have gone towards a car. But we really want to enjoy things too.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not an emergency. I mean, while I'm tired of my car, it runs and it gets me to work every day.
No, this is a normal dilemma a lot of people deal with because you've been so gazelle intense and now it feels like, well, we should be focused on the goals. Having fun is not part of the deal, but remember, you live like no one else so that you can live like no one else. And so if I'm you, I'm putting it in the budget, and then there's no guilt about the trip because we budgeted for the trip.
Yeah, that's the thing you're not doing, I think.
Okay.
Let's step back at that a minute and go, okay, if we save, if we allocate X number of dollars in the budget for weekend travel, let's just give it a category, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And having done that, we agree we're saving $1,000 a month towards a car. I'm just making up a number. $2,000
Sure.
a month towards a car, whatever the number is, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then you go and you spend what you said you were going to spend on weekend travel, not more, then there would be no pull. So
Right.
that tells me you're
That
not
makes sense.
allocating these things until after the fact.
Yeah, I think I'm more tempted to be like, okay, well, let's see how little we can live off of.
Yeah,
and
but I
then
mean,
when
if you
something
put it down
comes
the
up, I put
budget, you have that discussion before the money leaves and before the trip happens.
Okay.
You
That
and your
makes
husband
sense,
are
yeah.
sitting and looking at it on the paper, and you're going, okay, this is what we're spending on this. This is how I solved the problem with my wife, because she is a tightwad, and she would not spend money on herself afterwards, after we went through all that hell of bankruptcy and everything. And
Right.
we had no trouble allocating clothing money for the family, but she would spend 100% of it on the kids and be Scarlett O'Hara, I'll just wear the drapes, you know? And
Yeah.
which is a bunch of crap. And so finally we had to break it out to where we had a separate envelope for Sharon's clothes to make her spend money on herself on Sharon's clothes. And that kind of helped her almost heal from this tight-fisted trauma that we had been through, right? That causes your fist to be so tight. And so we went from intense to intentional and said, okay, this money, the money in this envelope that says Sharon's clothes cannot be spent on anything except for Sharon's clothes. And you want to know what's weird? We still have that envelope. That's weird. I just thought of that. That's weird.
Wow.
We should stop that. She has plenty of clothes. But oh my gosh. But I mean, the point was that exactly what you're experiencing was, you're going, okay, I want to be more mature, but also want to have fun. I mean, while we're going on this trip, we should not do that. We should just still be gazelle intense. But if you lay it out and you put a name on it and you say this money is to be spent on weekend travel, you can't be spent on your car. It's already spent. It's spent on paper. It's gone. Like Sharon's clothes, the money's gone. You can't spend it on anything else. It's already been labeled. Sharon's clothes. It can't be spent on anything else.
Disassociate yourself emotionally and say, hey, this $2,000 for the weekend trip, this is not car money. So we're not going to see it as money that could go towards the car.
And when it's part of this is a great discussion, by the way. And when it's part of the overall budget, you say, okay, that means we're putting, I'm making up whatever number it is. You can make up whatever number you want, Danny, but $2,000 a month on the car, okay? And so I'm still going to get the car at Christmas. I'm still going to get the $15,000 car at Christmas. I mean, still going to get it. And so it's not knocking me off of a reasonable goal. Now, yes, I could get the car in August instead of December by doing no travel, but we're making the adult decision to be intentional and say we're doing some weekend trips, make $175,000. And it's going to slow down my car a little bit, but I'm still getting the car, so I'm still being an adult. We're not out of control, but I think you got to label it and release it.
Okay, yeah.
That's what it took me back to a memory from 30 years ago almost, for me to do that. But that's a really good question. And the other thing you got to do is you have to follow the narrative of we're going from intense when we leave baby step 3 to intentional.
Okay.
Yeah, we go from sprinting to marathon.
Yeah.
1 through 3 is a sprint. We're running from the cheetah. We're trying to keep from getting killed. We're getting the mess cleaned up, getting the emergency fund in place. Then 4, 5, and 6 is a marathon. We slow down because it's a longer run. We're pacing ourselves. We're keeping the nutrition, the hydration coming. We're going to finish this 13.5, this 26.2. We're going to, 13.1 or 26.2. We're going to finish here, and we're going to finish it up. We got to have a plan to do it all the way out, and I can't sprint until I see the tape.
Yeah.
And if I got a little left, I'll sprint that last little bit, but that's it. And so, yeah, go ahead and knock that house out. Go ahead and get that car bought. Go ahead and buy that couch or fix up that kitchen. Or you budget those things and you go, okay, at this month I'm going to be able to do this month over here in the future. If I label this, and then you label the fun money and you're released of guilt.
Yeah, if you look down at your budget and you're in baby step 4 through 6 and there's not fun things on there, then you're doing it wrong. That's not the plan. The plan is not just to be gazelle intense forever and have no fun because Dave said so.
Dave didn't say that.
You got to do this stuff, and so put it in the budget. And even if you have to force yourself and go, we're going to go on weekend trips, we're going to have a date night budget, look down to where there's things you're excited about as a couple that you look forward to doing that's in your budget. That's going to help you release some of this. And you guys are doing great. You have more emotional maturity and financial maturity than most of America. So know that you're not doing anything wrong by not putting it all towards the car. But it's a common struggle. Me and my wife struggled with this as we paid off the house, Dave, because you want to be gazelle, and we wanted to pay it off so badly that it was always going, well, that money could go towards the house. When you get there
and you finish, it's surreal.
Yeah.
But then there's also almost like this confusion because you do have to, she said it early in the call, you do have to switch a gear.
Yeah.
You got to downshift from intense to intentional and then label it, and labeling the money means it has to be spent on that. Releases you to do that. And early in the budgeting process, you'll experience that same kind of a thing when you do your budget the first time and you actually label this number of dollars is for food. So when you go to the grocery store, you don't have this angst, this knot in your stomach, like when I buy food, is the electricity going to get cut off because I didn't pay the electric bill? No, because you got the electric bill covered in the budget, and you've got this much allocated for food covered in the budget. And so you get this sense of peace, this sense of power when you start doing the written plan. You get on your Every Dollar app, and you start running your budget out.
Yeah, there's amazing freedom in that.
So it's the same thing, though, that label and release. Label and release. Release the emotion around it. Label it. It has to be used for that, whatever you labeled it, unless you come back and reset the whole budget.